sisters all, if you are a winner, you have to be in the hall to receive it, or we will look for another winner. We'll give you 5 minutes to come in after you hear your name, and if we do not see you, we'll have to give it to somebody else. And we have some nice, lovely prizes going, lovely gifts, and we also have 3 free mammograms as a gift, as a prize to those persons who came and participated in our health care exercise. So please come in quickly. All those who are sitting to the front, don't get front shy all of a sudden. Please come up to the front. The chairs are still functioning, they're still strong. As I call Dr. Mayana Charles to the podium to inform of the winners, please, if you want to be in it, please be inside of the Trade Center. Thank you. Dr. Mayana Charles.
A pleasant good evening to everyone. And as Dr. Moda say, you have to be in it to win it. So all the persons on the outside, please come inside. So once again, good evening, and what a pleasure it is to be surrounded by strong, powerful, beautiful women of the new National Party. And I want to also thank all those who participated in our health awareness event this evening. And special congratulations to our newly elected women executive. So allow me to recognize our political leader, Honorable Emmeline Player. She's right behind there. Chairman, Dr. to the right, Honorable Keith Mitchell. Our guest speaker, Ms. Malika Compton. Lady Gloria Williams. Members of the executive, delegates and supporters, and to all you lovely women and the men who are here supporting us today. And I know today I'm in scrubs. I took the role of a medical doctor today, but more importantly, I stand before you as a woman who understands the gravity of the challenge that we face, the challenge that you face. Breast cancer, and everybody should know this, is one of the leading causes of death for women in Grenada. And I'll repeat this. Breast cancer is one of the leading causes of cancer deaths for women in Grenada. And tragically, our cancer death rates are higher than many of our Caribbean neighbors. This is not just a statistic I'm telling you about. It is a reality for our mothers, our daughters, our sisters, and us, the very people who are in front of me now. And it saddens me to say this, but in the unfortunate absence of a healthcare system that addresses this reality, we are left with no other option but to take charge of our own health and be... Yep, we are left with that choice. We have to take charge of our own health, right? And this is part of the reason why we are here today, for this exact purpose, to raise awareness and to equip you with the tools you need to successfully take charge of your health and live a happier, healthier life. And having said all of this, the government cannot ignore its responsibility, and we really demand positive, impactful action in this regard. So what can you do? Here are 3 places to start. And I know most of you who took part in the event, I know you have a good start. So I encourage you to know your body. Know what your breast normally looks like and feels like. So I encourage you to do your self-breast examination regularly. And if there is anything that feels wrong, if there is even a slightest change in your breast, report these changes to your healthcare provider. And do so immediately. Don't wait and say, you know what, I'm going to go next week or next month. Do it immediately. The second thing I encourage you to do is get screened. And a mammogram is a screening test that can detect breast cancer before you even develop symptoms. Right? So I encourage you to do your screening mammograms. And you only require to go to the doctor once every 1 to 2 years for that screening mammogram. So please take charge of your own health and do that screening mammogram. And the third thing I want to encourage you to do is to seek professional help early. Remember, early detection means better treatment options, better outcomes, and more time with your loved ones. So don't wait. Seek help now if you need help. And as it relates to breast cancer, preventative measures and early detection saves lives. It is your life, so take control of it. All right? I urge you to apply what you've learned in the event earlier on today to your personal lives. And I really want to thank the members of the new National Party for spearheading this initiative. Give them a round of applause. And now I'm going to go into the interesting part of the matter. I know what you've all been waiting for, the prizes. So at this time, I'd like to take a moment to recognize and celebrate some of our special winners from our health awareness event that took place earlier today. So first up, we're going to have our breast cancer awareness bingo winners. And we had 2 winners. Anybody remember who those are? The 2 quiet ladies in the bingo, right? They won the game. And I would like to invite Dr. Julie Dubois to present this award to our winners. And the award they will be getting is a complimentary dental clean, compliment gentle dental care. So our first winner is Esri Barry from St. George Northeast. Esri Barry from St. George Northeast. In the meantime, I'll call our second bingo winner. I think she's sitting right there as well. Andrea Telesford, also from St. George's Northeast. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, Dr. Dubois. So next up, we will have our mammogram winners. And Dr. Clarice Modest mentioned that we have 3 free mammograms today, complements the new National Party and as well as Spice Imaging. All right, and I'd like to call Dr. Clarice Modest Cohen to present these prizes. So the first winner, the first mammogram, the first complimentary mammogram goes to Anne-Marie Garraway from St. George Northwest. And our next person I'd like to call up, our second winner for the complimentary mammogram, Miss Catherine Buckmeyer from South St. George. Miss Catherine Buckmeyer. As Ms. Buckmeyer join us on the stage, congratulations to you. And I'll call up our third winner for the complimentary mammogram, Miss Wendy and Alexander from St. Patrick's East. So let's give all our winners a round of applause, and I'd like to encourage all the women in the audience who are eligible to get your screening mammograms done. All right, so the next winners, we have a lot of winners today, right? Too much prizes. Now, most of you who registered for the event, you collected a little heart, right? A positive affirmation. And some of those, it said some beautiful things on there. But we had a lucky winner from the draw. And I would like to invite Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis to present this award. And the winner from the positive affirmation draw, we have Miss Anne-Marie Blake from St. Andrews Northeast. So let's give Miss Blake a round of applause. All right, guys, so we're coming to the end. We have a few more prizes. Now, the next thing we did, everybody who registered, their name went into a bag, and we did a random draw. And we have 2 winners from that. And I would like to invite our political leader to do the honors of presenting those awards. So I invite Honorable Emmeline Pear, our political leader, to distribute those prizes. And the first winner we have Miss Tricia Jones-Williams from St. Andrews Northeast. She wanted to win the bingo so bad. Well, she's coming up. She got a prize. And the next person we have, right, for final prize, we have Miss Louise Joseph from Carriacou. So Carriacou is representing. So let's give a round of applause to all our winners. Do you guys want more prizes? And that's not the energy. Do you want more prizes? Okay, that sounds better. All right, so on the whim, we're going to give 2 final prizes, all right? 2 more. But this time I'm going to ask you some trivia questions. All right, and that question may be related to the history of the party, as well as the breast awareness bingo game we did early on. So let's see who was listening. So the first question, and the first person to raise their hand, we were going to take them to answer that question. So raise your hand, you state your name, and you can go ahead and answer the question. So the first thing I'm going to ask you, what is the recommended age to start screening for breast cancer in women who are at average risk? So who had the first hand up? So Trisha won a prize already, so we'll have to take somebody else. I saw this hand in the back, they go up first. If she doesn't get it, we'll ask this lovely lady here. So if you can stand, the lady in the lovely green dress, fluorescent green dress. Can you say your name and what's the answer to that question? Wow, okay. Okay, so 30 in women who are at high risk, right? So we'll take somebody else, but very good. That means you are listening. If you tell me your name. Oh, well, we have a winner, Amanda Aberdeen. So Amanda, come up. Right, so in terms of women who are at average risk, it is recommended that you start screening with mammograms at age 40. So good. Amanda, you were listening. Excellent. And I would like to invite Honorable Yolan Bain Hosford to give those prizes. So let's give Ms. Aberdeen a round of applause. Excellent. So we have this final prize of the evening. All right, and this is a history question. So let's see who know their history related to the new National Party. And I'm going to take the first hand that is up. So the question is, who is the... Listen, I'm seeing some cheating in the back. I'm seeing some hands already up. All right? So you'll put your hands up after the question is asked. So who is the only member of the new National Party executive to become Governor General of Grenada? Okay, so can you stand? That was the first hand I saw. Can you say your name? Miss Jillian Noel. So Miss Jillian Noel, can you come up? So we have Miss Jillian Noel, who is the winner of this prize, and the answer was Sir Daniel Williams. Excellent. So let's give her a round of applause. And she is from the constituency of St. George Southeast. So I see most of our constituencies were represented today. And we have winners from various constituencies. So again, congratulations to all our winners. And let's give them a big round of applause. And I just want to say finally, congratulations to each and every one of you, all the women here today who has made a commitment to prioritizing your health. Congratulations to you. And hopefully we do more of this kind of events going forward, raising awareness, right? And again, take charge of your health.
Thank you, Sister Dr. Mayana Charles of the New National Party. Brothers and sisters, when we were planning the Women's Convention, we thought about health. So what you saw here today earlier on is not by chance that it came about. It's not by chance that we decided to do mammogram, brothers and sisters, because we have heard the cries of our people. You know what one lady said? She said, I wasn't expecting that, but thank God. One of the ladies who came up here. Because she cannot go to the government and get a mammogram free of cost, brothers and sisters. Paid for by the government of Grenada. So NNP is the party that cares. NNP is concerned about health. NNP see the buckets going around, begging for a contribution, where the government is giving no contribution, brothers and sisters, to the sick people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And NNP is determined to improve healthcare when we take over again in the not-too-distant future. So, Sister Mayana, we're going to work together. All of the people who are in health in the New National Party, we are going to team up. And we are going to ensure that we do far, far better for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Brothers and sisters, we have a job to do. We have seen enough. We have heard enough. We have heard the cries. We cannot sit down and wait for it to happen to us. Because when it comes, it will hit hard, and we won't be able to do anything about it. Make sure you work and you support the New National Party, and healthcare will be on the priority listing for the New National Party. Brothers and sisters, as we move on, brothers and sisters, with our open session, I want to invite one of our most committed, one of our leaders who has delivered, or the leader who has delivered the most for the New National Party and for Grenada as a whole without question. A leader who has shown his mettle in tough times and come through for us in Grenada. A leader I have seen face the aftermath of Hurricane Ivan and say to us, we will make it, and we did. And Emily came again, and we made it, and we did. Brothers and sisters, they have a thing saying, NNP coming back, NNP coming back hotter than ever, NNP coming stronger than ever. And we have a political leader, and we have a chairman with the knowledge, with the experience to give us that kind of support. And now I call on no other than our chairman, who has served this party exceedingly well, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell.
Yes. Thank you, my dear sister. Well, I never see more women in my life in front of me like that. I feel good. First, let me recognize our political leader of the New National Party, our dear sister Emily Pierre. I recognize our guest speaker who is here with us, Sister Compton from St. Lucia, from the St. Lucia Workers' Party. Our parliamentarians who are here with us, Sister Clarice, Sister Kate, and of course, the executive members of the New National Party who are here, and the newly elected executive members of the women's arm of the New National Party, headed by Dr. my dear sister Dubois. And especially, friends, special lady, I want to recognize Lady Williams, that dedicated servant of the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. It is said that sometimes people work and they do a lot of work and they don't make a lot of noise. And you don't hear a lot about what they have done. But this is a lady who have given her life service to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. And it is to me a special time for us. Look at Brother Gregory Bowen arrives with us here today. Another stalwart of the New National Party. Sisters and brothers, first of all, let me say that I really believe this has been a tremendous turnout of the women of our country here today. And I tell you something, when you hear some people say NNP ain't coming back, it's because they're frightened. That time they're nervous, they're shaking. The NNP power is alive and well. And the NNP will be back in government of this country not long from now. But I'm very pleased to see the fact that they concentrated on the health of women at this activity here today. Because without health, we cannot have wealth. And therefore, each of us must take care of our health. And therefore, the emphasis of the team of the New National Party that provided this opportunity for mammograms here today must be complimented. Give them a round of applause again, sisters and brothers. But I want to make a special call, as I told my dear sister a while ago. Our men folks, too many of our men folks are coming down with prostate cancer in this country, and which should not really happen, because a simple blood test tells you the PSA level. And anytime you see it reaches anything like 3 or above, that is trouble. And every single man should be very concerned. I'm losing most of my boyfriends over, boyfriends, eh? Boyfriends. All you too bad-minded. Well, listen, my name is Keith Mitchell here. Keith Mitchell is my name. Do I need to say anything more? All right, good. What you- All right, friends, let me get serious with you all now. You like too much fun. We have our country in trouble. We have our country in trouble. We have some people in government that do not care about the lives of the people of this country. Especially those persons, they don't believe that a person's with wealth. In other words, if you're poor and you need help and support, if you are an ordinary citizen of this country, you don't count. If you have a lot of money, then you become a friend of those in government. But sisters and brothers, this NNP party is a party that consistently has demonstrated interest in every single citizen of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. But let me just say this. And that is why this country has consistently voted for the New National Party. Every time they give us a rest, the people ready to bring us back in government because they recognize what they miss. The level of victimization, the level of attacks on people of this country has never been seen. If you are seen talking to an NNP person, then people have to report you on a job or something that you're doing that you must be stopped. That has never happened during the period of the New National Party's government, sisters and brothers. Every Grenadian had a chance to work, and no one could say they were victimized just because they did not vote for the New National Party. That is the party that cares about the people of this country, because we could not support victimization and hurting people. Sisters and brothers, so we are so happy to see so many of our people here today. The women folks of this country who are here standing up despite the atmosphere of victimization. In other words, a lot of people would like to be here today. You know why they do not come? Because they're afraid to lose their jobs. But don't worry. It is said, when you think you're controlling people by fear and victimization, the time will come soon when they will feel liberated. When they walk into that polling booth and drop that X to free themselves and the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. That will come sooner than later. And some of them, I know that behaving like them is Jesus Christ today. I want to know what will happen to them the night after the elections when they are thrown by the people to go back seat. I wonder how they would behave and what they will do. The doctors of this country may have some work to do. Sisters and brothers, a message I want to give you before I leave here today is this. You see this thing called people resigning from NNP? Just listen to me. Just listen to me carefully. This is a contrived thing, deliberately organized to make it look like the NNP is falling apart. And we have to call it out. Because there's some people who wanted to come in the New National Party to take it over. They wanted to come in and take it over. But no one can come and take over the New National Party. The New National Party belongs to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So it's like the fox and the grape. When you can't get the grip, you say the grip sour. NNP is not a grip, sisters and brothers. So I just leave you with this. But I want to talk briefly on the economy of this country. We are in trouble. I cannot believe, in my mind, that I would ever see in this country where government is telling you that it's coming to raise at least $700 million to fund the budget of our country. Anyone who went to first level economics class in any school will tell you something is fundamentally wrong with any such organization. And any man, any woman that stands up in this country and tell you that this government is doing a good thing by coming and ask for $700 million of loan, something is wrong with that individual or individuals. I don't care who they are. You cannot be proud, because it means that the debt to GDP ratio of this country will jump up overnight and frighten every single serious financial persons that understand finance. So we have a job to rescue Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So friends, believe what I say in elections near. We've seen all the signs that elections are near. And NNP women, you know, you are the ones that win election, not men, you know. Women win elections all over the world. And that's why when I walk in and I see this turnout here today, despite the victimization, I say we on the road moving to victory for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And in that sense, therefore, I am confident that you will see soon the first female Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A man that does not fear to step down and support and to see his party go forward. Caring, unselfish, ready to help at all times. And nobody could, no matter what they say, nobody could change that. That is the character of the man. Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. And you know, it's a team, eh? It's a team. Dynamic after dynamic. And so, I bring on my little sister. Powerful young lady. Caring young lady. Well loved by her constituency. She knows how to move them and how to shake them. But most of all, she loves them. And she has demonstrated that she can deliver. She has delivered, and she will deliver again very soon when we go back. She's in office, but when we take the reins of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. My dear sister, I welcome you now to the podium.
NMP! NMP women! Look at women in the house of the new National Party. They can't stop us, you know. Tell them it's unstoppable Kate and unstoppable NNP. Brothers and sisters, well, let me say sisters and brothers, because we are here at the Women's Convention. And of course, we have some men in the house always there to support us. So let's welcome them as well. We recognize at the head table our political leader and first female Prime Minister, the Honorable Emmeline Pear. Our former political leader and now chairman of the new National Party, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. Our guest speaker all the way from St. Lucia, Miss Malika Compton. My colleague, parliamentarian Dr. Clarice Modest Cohen. And the current Women's Arm President, Dr. Julie Dubois. All other members of the new National Party, party's executive, and of course our supporters. It's hard. I feel like I'm not moving here with this mic, just there one place. Brothers and sisters, I just want to say a few things here this evening. We are the new National Party, and we are the party that has time and time again delivered to the people of this country. And no matter what they say, no matter what the naysayers will say, we know that we have done the job. We have delivered to each and every one of you. And of course, we will be rescuing you, the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique in the near future, sooner than later. And listen, when they say NMP is dying, tell them for me, the worst kick they will get is from a dying horse. That is why we need each and every one of you to do the work that is required. It will not be an easy fight, but we will not give up. We will continue to fight the fight until we rescue the people of this country. Too many of our people are suffering. Many of our women, single women with children, have been removed from the seed program. We have to stand up against that. We have to stand up against the victimization on our people. So many young people cannot be here today because they are afraid to lose their jobs. This is not Grenada. So we have to bring back our country to the state of normalcy. And they're preparing to come and ask for a loan of almost $1 billion. Well, I would say to them, when you account for the money spent in the past 2.5 years, then you can come and ask for a loan. Because our taxpayers will not be paying back for the people who have security contracts all over Grenada, even in Dunfermline housing scheme. We will not be paying for these people to have big security contracts. And I saw a man sit down below a mango tree. I said, excuse me, what you doing there? He said, I'm the security. I said, you're securing the mango tree? All where you turn, everything, big stone they're securing, just to create a job for the activists. We cannot support this. We have to stand up against this use of, the poor use of our money. We have to fight the fight, brothers and sisters. So we will not stand up and allow them to come and ask for over $700 million to put in the hands of the people. The people's money belongs to each and every Grenadian, Carriacouian, and Petit Martinican, and it must be used in the right way. Brothers and sisters, we cannot give up. Times are indeed hard, and we have to stand up for what is right. Have you ever seen in our time where large contingents are just traveling over and over for us? Everybody have a personal photographer to be paid for by you, the taxpayers of this country. We have to fight against that. We need proper roads. All where you pass is hole in the road, hole in the road. We need proper roads. And listen, don't let them tell you that the new National Party left it so, this is false. If you do not maintain something for 2.5 years, it will deteriorate. And this is what is happening to our infrastructure. Poor maintenance, and we are suffering as a result. And when you speak about the issues in this country, they are ready. They get the army, the Facebook bullies, ready to attack you, ready to assassinate you. But tell them for me, we are not scared. Tell them for me, we will fight against the bullies that they have on the social media. And they will not prevent us from standing up for you and speaking about the issues that affect each and every one of you. We must not give up, and we will not give up, because I believe that the NMP today is stronger than ever before. I say to some people, when you're moving from a boathouse to a wall house, all the termites borders just fall off. But we are stronger and better, and we are ready to rescue the people of this country. Do not give up. Let's do the work. Encourage each and every one of your children, your grandchildren. Let them know that we deserve better as a people. And while some of them continue to fill their pockets and get rich overnight, we have many people who cannot feed their children, who cannot send their children to school. This is not Grenada. We have to fight for the Grenada we know. We have to fight for the Grenada that once cared about all the people of this country. So let us work hard. Let us do the work, brothers and sisters. NMP, we have done it before, and we will do it again. So I say, let's fight the fight. Let's not give up. Let us rescue the people of this country. I thank you.
We will do it again. Let us rescue the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So says my little sister, and so say NNP. All right, brothers and sisters, we have a very special moment coming where we honor one of our stalwart members, one of our stalwart community persons who hails from St. David's. We have admired this lady from near up and from afar, and she has done an excellent, she has gone beyond the call of duty, given yeoman service to her community and the community of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And therefore, to pay special respects to Lady Williams, I now call on Sister Yolan Hosford to do the honors.
Lady Williams, strong like a lion, you know. She just told me she came out in a hot spring, quite in violence. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Let me recognize the head table, our political leader, Sister Emmeline Pear, our chairman and past political leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Sister Kate, Sister Clarice Modest Cohen, our guest speaker from St. Lucia, Sister Malaika Crompton, and of course, Sister Julie DeBoer, our new chairman of the Women's Arm. Let me take this opportunity also to recognize Brother Cox, all the way from Carriacou and the Carriacou Posse. And Brother Bowen is there, and all the other executive members of the party. And let me congratulate the newly elected members of the Women's Arm. Come on, you all too cold, man. What happened to you all? Put it. NMPites. You know, I can't say it like Sister Kate. NMPites. Today, the 2025 Women's Convention of the new National Party is taking the opportunity to honor someone who is among one of the most virtuous women in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, Lady Gloria Williams. Lady Williams has exemplified herself by taking on the responsibility to participate in the development of people across multiple sections of our Grenadian societies, including being a committed member of the new National Party. Lady Williams devoted years of her life to school teaching, membership in service organizations, and philanthropy. She was an educator assigned to teaching at the St. David's Roman Catholic School from 1953 to 1958 and 1969 to 1970. I tell you. She served as a Eucharistic minister of the Catholic Diocese. She was a member of the Grenada Cancer Society. She was a member of the Lions. I believe she was in Lioness before, and then amalgamated both, and she became a member of the Lions International Club of St. George's, and an honorary member of the Girl Guides movement in Grenada. She is the co-founder of the Sir Daniel Williams Foundation of Grenada. She's a devoted stalwart of the new National Party and dedicated her residence to hosting high-impact fundraisers for the new National Party for many, many years. You all remember? All year's night, we up on the hill. Additionally, Lady Williams conducted a number of training exercises. I hope she remembered those, because I was part of her training with members of the party and party groups in good manners and etiquette and in building self-esteem. I remember on many occasions, we were at Norton House, we were at different areas. She was one of the persons who conducted some of the training. She gave a lot of support to women and guided women, helped to lift their self-esteem. I remember I was Director of Women's Affairs at that time. So she has done a lot for this country. She has done a lot for Grenadian women, and we are honored. We are happy today that we have chosen this remarkable woman to give honor here today. Dr. Mitchell, would you like, or Sister Emmeline Pear, would you like to please hand over this award to? Let me see what it says. Presented, the award says, presented to Lady Gloria Williams by the new National Party Women's Arm in honor of your exceptional contribution to the new National Party and Grenada. And the red you see on the edge of the award represent our 40th anniversary. So we are happy, and it's with great pleasure that we have our political leader doing the honors. Thank you. You want to say a few words, Lady Williams? Of course, I know that.
I just thank all of you. Excuse me not naming people on the head table, but I respect you, I honor you, I respect you, I love you, but I'm not going to call names. I thank all of you who thought of another custom. I thank all of you who thought of me, because you know, there are people who I have had occasions to say to certain people, Dan dead, Gloria not dead. I have had occasion to say that to some people. And I thank you to see, I thank you that you know that Glory not dead. I have done a lot of things in my life, in my long life. I thank the good master for the years he has given me. I thank him for the children he has given me. I thank him for the party that I served. And among the many things my husband and I did for Grenada, in Grenada, helping people, the one I'm still doing now as a group is my Foundation for Needy Students. It's not a Danny Williams Foundation. It's a Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique Foundation for Needy Students. And mind you, I said Petit Martinique, because when we registered it, it wasn't yet Petite Martinique. So I still say Petit Martinique. That's the registration of that foundation. It's very dear to my heart still. COVID did a little thing to it, but we will revise it. Although I say COVID did a little thing to it, COVID never stopped the service we were giving. So as soon as the lockdown opened, we started. And although we were not having fundraising, because a lot of people remember us because we used to have fundraising functions. But since COVID, we have not had a fundraising function. But because we were successful before, we were able to service the children, school children, during that time. So our fundraising will commence next year, please God, if the Lord spare us, because we will be 30 years registered. So I had to say that because a lot of people, some know about it, some don't know about it, because we're not on radio and TV and so on. We do our thing. The people who get the service, they know the service they get. Those who got the service from 30 years ago. Schools, apart from school children individually, schools. We were given computers, donated computers from people abroad, and we went and presented them to schools. We don't hear about that. But the schools know, you understand? And that's how we work. So I'm just doing a little begging now. When we start our fundraising next year, when we start our fundraising next year, please God, I hope I see you. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm honored to get this thing from the New National Party.
She wants to greet. I thought it was, yeah, but I thought it was something bigger than that. Very touching moment. That is what NNP, the caliber of the people of the new National Party. Thank you very much, Lady Williams, for gracing us with your presence. We are extremely pleased that you could make it. And you heard the appeal come out. When the fundraiser comes out next year, she hopes she sees all of us. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we move on, we do have a guest speaker in our midst, Sister Malika Compton. I did not ask her how to pronounce the name, so I might be a little bit off. And you know the St. Lucians have a different accent, but Sister Compton is here with us from our sister party in St. Lucia. And she will tell us all about that. But she has come here to bring greetings to us as a woman who has achieved a lot, and it is not my duty to tell you how much she has achieved or what she has achieved. But Sister Compton, on my behalf and behalf of all of us, I want to welcome you. And now I hand you over to the president of our Women's Arm, NNP Women's Arm, who will do a better job of introducing you to our women in the audience and to everyone who is listening in Grenada and abroad. Please, Dr. Dubois, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Political leader, the chairman of the party, Sister Kate, Honorable Kate Skeeter-Lewis, Dr. Modeste, and members of the executive, Lady Williams, and all the lovely women here. I am just here to introduce to you our guest speaker, who comes all the way from St. Lucia, Miss Malika Compton. Now, Miss Compton comes to us as a dedicated leader and advocate and a professional with a strong background in public service, community development, and political engagement. She currently serves on the, as the president of the United Workers' Party, the UWP, as the National Women's Arm and chairperson of her constituency branch. She joined the party when she was only 16 years old. I heard somebody talk about 16 years old. There's Jeanette. Yes, when she was only 16 years old. And for the past 6 years, she has been president of the Women's Arm. She has done a lot of groundbreaking initiatives to amplify women's voices in politics. And her influence extends across party events, management committee, and other organizations where she has played a pivotal role in strategic planning. She brings a wealth of experience from both banking and utility sectors. And beyond politics, in her career, she's an active force in national development, and she holds several key positions in many organizations. Malika's passion for mentorship and community engagement and nation building is unmatched, and she finds deep fulfillment in helping others reach their full potential. And she also is a devoted mother and wife that she considers one of her greatest blessings. She's a leader of influence, integrity, and impact, and she continues to champion the policies and initiatives that create opportunities, drive social change, and uplift communities across St. Lucia. So sisters and brothers, let's put our hands together and give Sister Malika Compton the warmest welcome ever from Grenada.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dubois. NNPites! NNPites, how you doing? Political leader, Honorable Emmeline Pierre, Mr. Chairman, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Honorable Kate Lewis-Peters, Honorable Dr. Modeste, other members of the National Executive, President of the Women's Arm, Dr. Dubois, and the newly elected executive, distinguished guests, the men who are here to support, resilient women of the NNP, good evening. It is truly a joy to witness so many of you gathered in such impressive numbers from across the country, demonstrating the might, the strength, and the power of the new national party. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as we celebrate 40 years of resilience, progress, and visionary leadership. First and foremost, on behalf of the United Workers' Party, St. Lucia, and the Women's Arm, we would like to congratulate political leader, Honorable Emmeline Pierre, on her historic achievement as the first female leader of the NMP. Congratulations also to the newly elected executive of the Women's Arm. Political leader, your leadership marks a defining moment in the political history of Grenada, proving that women are not just participants in politics, but formidable leaders shaping national development. We are gathered here not just to reflect on the past, but to reaffirm our commitment to shaping the future. As women of politics, we are not merely participants in democracy. We are the architects of transformation, the heartbeat of our party, and the backbone of our nations. We often hear about women's representation, the percentage of women in parliament, the percentage of women in the boardrooms. And yes, the numbers matter. But tonight, I challenge you to think beyond just being present at the table. We must shape the agenda. That's right. Your party has set the gold standard in ensuring that women hold high positions in government, decision-making roles, and senior leadership. In 2018, your party had 7 women elected to the House of Representatives. This deserves a round of applause. Almost 50% representation. Today, with a woman at the helm, it reaffirms your commitment to gender equality, leadership excellence, and nation building. But let me be clear, she cannot do it alone. It is up to every woman and man here to stand firm, support the movement, and ensure victory at the next elections. To those of you who have left, I'm asking you to come back home. This is not by chance. This is by design, because when women lead, nations transform. We have witnessed this transformation. So when you go out there, you need to remind voters, we are not just asking for support based on promises. We are asking for support based on performance. So let's remind the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique that NMP has delivered. They have been tried, tested, and proven. Great economic management, astute leadership that kept Grenada's economy strong, stable, and resilient through the toughest times. This includes not only 1, but 2 major hurricanes and the global pandemic. They ensured that no one was left behind. Infrastructure, building not just roads and schools, but opportunities, futures, and securities for the people of St. John, St. Mark, St. David, St. George West, St. Andrews Northwest, and all other constituencies. Investment in the youth, programs like Imani, Youth Biz, Empower, and Project Fly, creating real opportunities for our children and grandchildren. Healthcare, A nation can only be strong as the well-being of its people. You all had a health fair earlier. The NMP government invested in hospitals, medical equipment, and critical supplies, ensuring that healthcare is not a privilege, but a right. Now tell me, sisters and brothers, this is the legacy of competence, courage, and commitment. This is what leadership looks like when women are at the heart of the governance and when NMP is in government. The Caribbean has always been home to powerful, trailblazing women who have shattered ceilings and built legacies. In our own United Workers' Party in St. Lucia and across the region's conservative movements, we have seen fearless women rise to lead with strength, vision, and unwavering commitment. The late Dame Eugenia Charles from Dominica, the Iron Lady of the Caribbean, Dominica's first female prime minister, and a pillar of strong, principled leadership. Dr. Gail Rigobert, she's from UWP St. Lucia, a former minister of education, a former deputy political leader of our party and leader of opposition, known for her dedication to knowledge, youth empowerment, and nation building. Your very own Dr. Clarice Modest, a strong woman leading grassroots political movements with resilience, and whose commitment to service has left a lasting impact on the health sector. These women, like many of us in this room, they have fought battles. They have faced resistance, and yet still they emerged victorious. They have proven that conservative values and strong governance can empower women to lead with integrity and impact. Beyond leadership roles, women have been the backbone of our electoral victories. We are the ones who mobilize. We are the ones who strategize. We ensure that every vote is counted. We are the ones who go door to door, sit in community meetings, and organize the grassroots movements that bring success on election day. Sisters, our strength in politics is just not in our ability to lead. It is in our ability to inspire and mobilize others to believe in a better tomorrow and a brighter future. We have work to do. We have to increase the women's political participation. It is important for the women's arm to provide the avenue for grooming or preparing women to take on political life. For some of you, it has happened through family party involvement or attending political functions and meetings. The latter is how I got involved. Politics is in my bones. Both my parents are part of a party. My daughter, I got her to join. So let me challenge you this evening. We cannot stop at being the foot soldiers. We must become the generals. Our party needs more women in strategic decision-making, on campaign teams, in policy formulation in Parliament. Because when women are in leadership, we do not just talk about issues, we solve them. Here's an empowering set of words for each letter in the word women. I want you to listen attentively. W, wisdom. True wisdom isn't just knowledge. It's the courage to listen, the humility to grow, and the grace to uplift others. O, opportunity. As women, we have the power to transform every opportunity into a breakthrough. Trust that every new beginning, no matter how uncertain, is a chance to redefine success, inspire change, and build a brighter future. M, motivation. Motivation is the fire within that drives us forward, even when the road feels long and uncertain. E, empowerment. Empowerment begins with self-belief. Every step you take towards your dream is a step towards a world where all women can thrive. Rise with courage, lead with compassion, and shine in the way only you can. N, nurture. Nurture is the heart of growth. It is the act of fostering strength, compassion, and resilience in ourselves and others. In nurturing others and ourselves, we create a foundation of support and encouragement that can change the world. These words reflect qualities that embody the spirit of women's empowerment: wisdom to lead, opportunity to grow, motivation to strive, empowerment to uplift, and nurture to support others. But let us not be naive. The journey ahead is not without obstacles. Women in politics face criticism that men never will. We are judged not just by our policies, but by our personalities. We are questioned, we are scrutinized, and sometimes even dismissed. Yet, we must persist. Let me hear you. Yet, we must persist. We must persist because we know that the future of our daughters, sisters, nieces depends on our resilience today. We must persist because our communities are counting on us. We must persist because we understand that leadership is not about ego, it is about service. Now, I want to speak directly to the mothers, the godmothers, the grandmothers in the room. For too long, we have raised our daughters to be strong, independent, and ambitious in business, medicine, education, and law. But why not politics? Our daughters must understand that politics is not a man's world. It is our world too. Mothers, bring your daughters into the political fray. Teach them how to speak with confidence, how to challenge injustice, how to not just follow laws, but write them. Politics is not just about elections. It is about governance, representation, and legacy. And if we do not groom the next generation, we will leave a void that others will fill. For the executive of the Women's Arm, let us create mentorship programs, leadership boot camps, and political training for our young women. Let us ensure that in the next decade, our Women's Arm is not just maintaining numbers, but growing exponentially. So my sisters, I leave you with this charge. Step forward boldly. Do not support leadership, be the leadership. Encourage young women to engage. Bring your daughters, nieces, sisters, and mentees into the political process. Demand seats at the table. Policy decisions that affect women must be made by women. Mobilize like never before. Elections are not won on the day. They are won in the years of groundwork leading up to it. They are won every day. In every conversation, in every home, in every community, in the whole of Grenada. Support each other fiercely. When one woman rises, she must pull another up with her. Sisters, we stand on the shoulders of giants, but it is now our turn to carry the torch forward. We do not wait for change. we create change. We do not wait for power, we seize it. We do not just shape history, we write it. The next 40 years will not be written by chance. They will be written by us. Let's go forth, empower, and lead. The future belongs to empowered women. Let us claim it. Let's get to work to rescue Grenada, P.T. Matnik, Carriacou, and bring back a progressive government, bring back hard-working government, and bring back visionary leadership. Let us build a future that is worthy of our collective dreams and aspirations, a future founded on the party's core values: integrity, service, accountability, mutual respect for generations to come. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Sister Compton. Well said. Well said. Do not support leadership, but be the leadership. I think she was looking at Sister Emmeline when she said that. That Sister Emmeline did not just support leadership, but she is the leadership. Brothers and sisters, we are winding down, but we have a little housekeeping matter to deal with, and that is to do with the presentation of the executive members for the new National Party Women's Arm. So as we know from before, our president, Dr. Julie Dubois, was already elected. Our vice president, Sister Jeanette James, also elected already. Oh yes, we will do that. Just give me a little chance. Our secretary, Miss Lauren Gibbs, treasurer, Monique Cummins, and our PRO, Sister Ariel Gordon. So I will ask those members to just stand up at the front so we could present them together with the other persons who were elected that we had to count the votes. We have gotten the count of the votes, and so we had to select 5 out of 6. I will give you the names in order of the numbers, but let's leave the numbers. Let's leave the numbers out. So Sister Shelley Ann Braveboy, Miss Rosalind Felix, Sister Jacqueline Lawrence, Sister Jacinta Livingston, Sister Eric Coppin, and of course, we did say that we had a reserved position for Sister Shirley Matheson of Carriacou and P.T. Martinique. But for Carriacou, also it's not the name. So Carriacou will decide who their floor member is going to be. Brothers and sisters and brothers, as we looked at all of the women who were nominated and seconded, we saw that they were all a force to be reckoned with. And they all had something to bring to the table. And so our political leader, in discussion with her, what we decided was that she would be a special invited to the executive of the Women's Arm. She will be appointed there so that all the nominees would be given an opportunity to make the contribution that all of us believe that they can make, and we are there willing and ready and able to support them. So brothers and sisters, please behold your elected executive members of the new National Party Arm. So my dear sisters, I would just like you to hold the hand of the 2 persons next to you and to raise them up in the air. Hold their hand, hands up, give us a Kodak moment there, and thank you very much for accepting your positions. Thank you very much, lady. And so we're winding down, but we now move to the most important, after the elections, the most important event for this evening as we wind down. Brothers and leaders and brothers and sisters, sisters and brothers, let me say ladies and gentlemen, we have a dynamic lady growing in popularity in leaps and bounds, bringing in new members that we, especially youths, that we have not before seen in our new national party, nor in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, generating a zeal for politics in our country and generating a passion for the new national party, building on our previous achievements. But she brings her own skills and a special touch to the table of political leader, full of love and compassion, a heart for the poor, but firm and resolute to build herself and her country. She is well poised to take the NNP to leadership again in this country. Brothers and sisters, I ask you to join me in welcoming our political leader, no other than my dear sister, Honorable Emmeline Pierre, next Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And after that, the sky is only the limit. Brother, Sister Emmeline Pierre.
NNPites! We love you, love you, love you, love you. St. Andrew! St. Andrew Southeast! Carriacou and Petit Martinique! And I have a special one, Tongue of St. George! I see you. And I really want to recognize the stalwarts that I see. Sister Helen and others from the Tongue of St. George. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Brothers and sisters, I wish to say, as I'm accused at this point of not referencing the South, that on each occasion, I will call a different 2 constituencies. Do I get away? All right. So I want to specially recognize this evening the very special person sitting at the head table. I want to recognize the chairman of our party, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell. I recognize a female, a sister, a stalwart, Sister Clarice Modeste Cohen. I recognize also my colleague and sister member of parliament, my member of parliament, my MP, Sister Kate Lewis Peters. And of course, Sister Malaika Crompton, we are so very happy to have you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to specially recognize at the front, the deputy political leader of the new national party. Put your hands together for Brother Nolan Cox. The deputy chairman of the party. Put your hands together for Brother Gregory Bowen. I also recognize this evening all other executive members, the general secretaries at the back there, Brother Roland Bowler. Put your hands together. And all other members of the executive of the new national party, I greet every single one of you this evening. But let me take a moment additionally to recognize a very strong woman, a role model for all of us this evening, a woman who stood tall at the side of her husband in good times and in bad times. A man who was very successful, but I believe the saying that wherever you find a good man, a successful man, look out for a better woman. So I want to recognize an outstanding woman this afternoon, a strong woman, a woman of substance, Lady Gloria Williams. Stand and take a bow again. She has served this party. She has influenced many decisions of her husband in favor of this party. Dr. Mitchell can tell you that. And she has served Grenada, Carriacou, and P.T. Martinique very well. Brothers and sisters, this evening I want to join with everyone who went before me to recognize the new executive of the women's arm of the new National Party. Sister Julie Dubois and all executive members, congratulations. But I say to you, our expectations are very high. Our expectations are very high, but you have our greatest support. You have our greatest support. Let me also add that we have taken a strategy decision to appoint an advisory committee to the women's arm of our party. And that is because I said a few minutes ago, our expectations are very high. And so I wish to announce this afternoon that this advisory committee would comprise no other persons but Dr. Clarice Modest Cohen, Sister Kima Paul, and I also want to mention our dear sister Mayana Charles. A three-man committee would serve in an advisory capacity to a national women's arm. So this is more than woman power right there. Brothers and sisters, this evening, having moved away from those introductory items, I want to recognize every single woman in this room. Every single woman in this room. But I want to point out what I want to describe as the stalwarts of the new National Party. And so I say to you, if you are sitting this evening and you have been a member of the NNP for more than 20 years, rise to your feet. Stand right now. Put your hands together. Long-serving, committed, loyal members. You see what's going on in this room here? Do you see what's going on in this room? Solid, loyal, committed women of the new National Party. Put your hands together. NNPites. The house solid. I said the house solid. I said the house solid. NNP is number one. You could afford to take a boost in the new National Party. That's what you call strength. That's what you call warrior women of the new National Party. That is what you call the warriors of NNP. That is what you call the strong women of the new National Party. Brothers and sisters, as women, you have not only done well serving the new National Party, but I am certain without a shadow of a doubt that most of you in this room have excelled at holding families together. Many of you would have sucked salt to see your children succeed. Many of you would have gone through tough times and rough times, giving up so much for your children, and many of you for your own grandchildren. And I say this evening, had it not been for you, these women here, many of your families would have fallen apart already, because you are the glue that hold your families together. I know for a fact that many of you have not just held your families together, but you have struggled as small business owners. And I know for a fact also that you would tell me that for many of you, it's your worst time ever as businessmen and businesswomen, specifically this evening. No lie, I heard you. But you know what I'm confident of? What I am confident of is that you have been through hardship before. You know what hardship is because you have been through it with your children. You know what hardship is because you rode over those storms, over those waves, and you made it successfully in many cases. And that is why I know today that in spite of what you face, you are going to rise again. You are going to make it, and you are going to be successful. So as I look in the audience this evening, I see many familiar faces. You lost your jobs after the last elections. Many of you were described as the consequences of general elections. But you know what I'm happy about? You stand tall. You stand proud. And you are fighting not just for yourselves and your families, but you are fighting for your country. I believe that you are here not just because you wanted to come to St. George's. You are here because you recognize that you have a part to play in saving Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. You recognize that the future of this country, your children's future, your grandchildren's future is at stake. And I see in every one of you a willingness to fight for this country. A willingness not to go down, but to stand tall, to stand firm as warriors of this country, ready to fight, ready to rescue this country. And when I say fight, brothers and sisters, I want to be very specific when I say that. There is absolutely no doubt that there's a heightened level of victimization in this country. And I say this with every evidence that I need to defend my statement. You ask me when you see me, I'm going to explain further. But you know, the worst thing that you can do as women, as citizens of this country, as people with constitutional rights, the worst thing you can do is to take your death as a sheep. And that is why in NNP we have no sheep. We have no sheep that are going to be dead under the hands of the current government. So I say to you, it is your right to attend a political meeting. It is your right to express your views about things that are not going right in this country. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It is your God-given right. It is your constitutional right. And I always say this, whatever you do, whatever you say it respectfully. But it is your right to call out wrong. It is your right. Brothers and sisters, we cannot be quiet. When a public officer was called into an office by a senior servant of this country, note how I refer to the person, a senior servant of this country. You know what this young lady did? She accidentally liked a live that Ziggy was doing. Accidentally. You know, sometimes you scroll in and you click like, not even realizing you like. In Grenada, a public officer was called in because that person accidentally clicked a like. Brothers and sisters, There are some things that we are seeing. It's astonishing. It's frightening. And you know, I often say it, what is joke for school children is death for crapo. And that is why I'm not afraid to point it out. Dr. Mitchell sitting here would tell you, I'm sure he remembers, the morning after the elections in 2013, in the Prime Minister's office, and I can mention the name, this is public knowledge, Brother Philip Alexander walked into work with an NDC t-shirt. Was he fired? Brothers and sisters, at no time we can say that Grenadians had the level of freedom to express themselves as under a new National Party administration. Morning, noon, and night. Morning, noon, and night. Our administration, even when we had 15 seats in Parliament, we respected the voice of the people. And that is all we are asking for. Allow the people's voices to be heard. Brothers and sisters, I want to say this. A couple of days ago, we were in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. I want to commend Brother Cox and his team. Put your hands together. Put your hands together louder for Carriacou and Petite Martinique. You recall on Sunday, I spoke about a young man who lived in Petite Martinique. And I told you that if the matter was not addressed, I was personally going to meet with the Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique. I am happy to report to you that on the said day that I arrived in Carriacou, the young man was told he can continue until further notice. Put your hands together. Put your hands together for Brother Pin. Brothers and sisters, our party in government has served our women well. There's always room for improvement. There's always room for more. Our chairman has to leave for another function, but I don't want him to leave until we recognize the contribution that he has made in recognizing women and uplifting women in our country. When we left office in 2022, we were number 8 in the world. We were number 8 in the world for women representation in Parliament. We are now down to number 64 in the world. NNP needs to get back there real fast to fix that. Put your hands together for Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell. Brothers and sisters, I'm still speaking about women and the role that women play, not just in the homes, in our schools, who are our teachers, who are principals. You go to the public service, who are our permanent secretaries, who are the women in business and all other spheres of life. You see the contribution of women. And so this evening I say to you, don't let anybody devalue you as a woman. Don't let anybody make you feel that you are not capable and competent as a woman. Don't let anyone make you feel that you don't have what it takes to make your contribution. So I say to you, continue to stand tall. Continue to rise. Continue to serve Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Brothers and sisters, in spite of all of that I said to you, we can only imagine, because we know sufficient the number of women throughout this country right now who are affected by the rising cost of living. The number of women who are worrying right now how they will send their children to school tomorrow. While the cost of living continues to rise, there's very little response from our government as to how to buffer and cushion the effects of the rising cost in living. Brothers and sisters, the cost of medication. Think about the number of women who care for their mothers, care for their children, care for their grandparents, care for their own husbands and fathers. The challenges that they face. But I want to say to you this evening. I want to say to you this evening, the new National Party will be back. And the new National Party will be back to better serve the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So the question is, what is your role? And I know that the NNP will be back. You just have to walk around or drive around, and you listen to the voice of the people. The voice of the people is what? So I'm not just speaking here on emotions. I go around. You see that? All around, and you listen to the voice of people, and not just supporters of NNP. Not just supporters of the NNP, stalwarts of the National Democratic Congress. People who have served that party for years have come to a conclusion that they themselves do better when the NNP is in office. Only yesterday a businessman said to me, Ms. P, I'm telling you this, I am not an NNP. I don't think I will ever be an NNP. But I would be giving NNP my fullest support in the next general elections. I said to him, that's all we need. That's all we need. You don't have to be a member. You have a choice. You don't have to be. So when we speak, brothers and sisters, about the intention to borrow over $700 million, it's not because we are NNP. It is because we are Grenadians. It is because we care about Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And you know what is frightening? What is frightening is the trickery in all of this. So one member of the government said, when you have a surplus, you don't have to spend it. You can put it aside and you can borrow to do capital projects. You know, when you don't know, it's a big, big problem, you know, because people clap for that. Brothers and sisters, at the end of 2024, the government of Grenada themselves said to us that there was a deficit of over $140 million. So if you have a deficit, where is the surplus? You mean you have a surplus deficit? There is nothing like that. There is no surplus deficit. Your account showed us that you have a deficit, which means you are spending more than you are. Well, you know that. You don't even have to go to economics school or class to know that. So if you have a deficit, how could a member of parliament on the government side be given the impression that there is such a surplus that we would reserve it for rainy days? Brothers and sisters, I say to us this evening, we have a problem on our hand. We have a problem on our hand. But I believe the persons to solve this problem are you, the supporters of the new National Party, the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, those who don't care about party, but they care about country. And I believe together we can do what is best for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Brothers and sisters, I close this evening by saying to you, the future is bright. The future is bright. Someone mentioned earlier the number of young people, the number of people who are coming forward, skilled people, offering their support, their help as we go forward. I look at some of the women who came forward this afternoon, and I am convinced without a shadow of a doubt that the future of the NNP is bright. The future of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique is even brighter. And that together we are going to move forward. Together we are going to achieve. I have no doubt, absolutely no doubt, that NNP is stronger today than it was in 2022. I am confident about that. And that is why, in closing, I say to you, as I said to you in Guelph, mind your business. Mind your business. And I would close with one of the business that you need to mind. Brothers and sisters, this administration, their intention is to try, and I'm going to say this before I say that. This administration is very clear as to how the average Grenadians feel at this time. They are absolutely clear. And they know that there's absolutely no way that they can win a general elections in Grenada if ordinary citizens of this country vote. And so listen me very carefully as I close. The strategy is to register as many CBI agents and citizens as possible. Listen me very carefully. Listen me very carefully. This is my closing charge to you. You have to register the people in your homes and in your communities. They are busy doing that, but additionally, they are busy encouraging CBI applicants to register. But I'll tell you something. Some months ago, we highlighted some very strange names on the voters list. And I'll tell you why it's important to highlight them. Not because of their strange names. There are people who come to Grenada for a few days and their names end up on a voters list. That is illegal. You cannot come to Grenada, become a citizen, spend a few days in Grenada, and then your name ends up on the voters list. The law is very clear as to how your name should end up on the voters list. But do not look on the voters list for familiar names. Do not look for names that look strange. It is the last thing I say to you. There is a plan right now that is unfolding. There's a strategy right now that is unfolding. I want anybody who has the ability to investigate it. Check the number of people in Grenada who are changing names. Check and see. So when you look at the voters list, do not close your eyes when you see John and James. Do not close your eyes when you see Bowen and Pear and Cox. I say to you, mind your business. Your business is to ensure that every person that you know is a supporter of the NNP, that they are registered. Your second business is to canvass the voters list aggressively. Every single name must be scrutinized. Every single name must be scrutinized. One step forward, one step further. Names that are illegally on that registration of voters list must be objected to. Must be objected to. You may go to register somebody, all part of the strategy, I believe, and they will tell you the system is down. Well, we are calling on the administration. Brother Bowen knows this. We have been saying for quite a while, the procurement process started quite a while for a new system. We are asking the government, what is the status? What is the situation? Is that part of the plan as well? Don't take this lightly. Do not take this lightly. Persons that you object to, do not lose courage if you see them reappear. Let us keep the record. There's a legal system that will have our backs at the appropriate time. So NNPites, I say to you, be vigilant. Be vigilant, and let us ensure that we never sleep on protecting this country, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Let us ensure that we never sleep. This is a lady who respects leadership, but she knows leadership and has aspired to leadership. And she's right there. Brothers and sisters, another round of applause for our political leader, Honorable Emmeline Pierre. So, my dear brothers and sisters and brothers, you know, it takes a little while. I'm going to call on a brother, very dignified man, we know. Not a man of a lot of words, but a man of great depth and great productivity, who has served our party well. And we want to demonstrate that we have gracious gentlemen in our community, and in the NNP community, and in Grenada as a whole. And therefore, I call on Brother Gregory Bowen, Deputy Chairman, to present a token of appreciation to our visitor, Sister Compton. So I ask you, please, to stand and receive a gift from this nobleman. Thank you, Brother Gregory Bowen. And as we close, I will ask Sister Nicole Charles to ask God's guidance as we leave this place, to not leave his presence, but that he goes with us and takes care of everyone who has left here. Sister Nicole Charles. So let's stand as we have Sister Nicole Charles bringing God.
A pleasant good night to everyone. I just want to use this opportunity to mind a little business before we ask God's blessings. And at this time, I would like us to kindly show our great appreciation, especially the women of St. Mark's, to a wonderful woman, Dr. Clarice Modeste Cohen. The St. Mark's constituency awards Dr. Clarice Modeste Cohen, a long-standing parliamentary representative, for her invaluable contribution to the constituency and constituents of St. Mark. Dr. Clarice Modeste Cohen. Let us just bow our heads, please. Almighty and everlasting God, we thank you for this wonderful opportunity. For the women of the NNP who are here this evening, those in the diaspora, and those who couldn't just make it this afternoon. Lord, we thank you for this special blessing. We pray, Lord, that as we go to our destinations, our homes, our places before we even go home, we ask you to guide us, guide the drivers, guide our footsteps for those who have to walk, and take care of us, dear God, as we go to our respective homes. May you, Lord, continue to dwell with us and keep us safe and help us, as the political leader said, to mind our business. We thank you, Lord, for all these special blessings in no other name but Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Go in peace.